we go. Again, two of the heavier hitters in the team league here. Look at the lineups. Oh my god, we have Scarlett versus Spirit in a ZVT. We have ByuN versus Namshar in a Turn versus Zerg. And we have Lambo versus MaxPax in a Zerg versus Protoss. Here we go. Namshar, we haven't seen too much of him as of late. Namshar, of course, has been on Sidestorm Gaming for a long time. I could be mistaken. Is this Namshar's debut this season? So usually, Sidestorm Gaming or Sidestorm Na'Vi, their lineup is Spirit, Geralt, and MaxPax. Spirit, Geralt, and MaxPax, they are the A-team roster of Sidestorm Na'Vi. That is what they rely upon. This time, Geralt is MIA. Geralt is not quite here, and I'm quickly checking the history of this season. And let's quickly have a look here. And yeah, so far, every single week has been that trifecta. Geralt, MaxPax, and Spirits. This is the debut of Namshar this season. Namshar, of course, he is the Swedish Zerg player. From my understanding, Namshar used to live in Canada and was in Canada for a long time. I believe he no longer is. I believe he's back in Sweden, from my understanding. I remember Rotterdam, he spoke about it a couple of days ago. So from my understanding, I think Namshar is back in Sweden. I don't know for how long. I don't know if he's like visiting family or something like that. But yeah, I also don't really know the state of play for Nam, which I love. I love the look of the DGen Duck. He's just lying down, contemplating life. You know, I've been casting for 12 hours, and I'm casting. So whenever Rainer plays, or Migs or something, we can finally smoge in the chat. It's when you lift up your hoodie. You're true. But here we go. We're getting into this, and in the bottom left corner we have for Shopify, Scarlett. And in the top right, we have for Sidestorm Gaming, Spirit. For Sidestorm Na'Vi. Here we go. Here we go. We're settling into our Zerg versus Terran. And we'll see which direction this does take. Again, we're leading into Post-Youth. Post-Youth is a typically vetoed map in the map pool, but because of the format of WTL, because there are 0 vetoes in WTL and the first map is forced, we get to experience some of these otherwise vetoed maps. So we do get to embrace Post-Youth. Now, Post-Youth, one of the big features is we do have an in-base pocket hybrid base with mixed minerals and regular mineral patches, or rich minerals and regular mineral patches here available for our players. Likewise, there is also a gold base in the center of the map as well. 2 golds that both players can expand to. We've seen plenty of players rush into it as a natural to go for a bit of an all-in, take it as a 3rd, or take it as a 4th base. So that's also a factor to come into play later on down the line. And we'll see how this does develop here. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but Spirit went for CC first. This is a very greedy build out of Spirit, but it makes sense. Because your natural is defended by the same ramp as the main ramp, that is a CC before Rax. This is the greediest opener you can go for in TBZ. So Spirit is cutting corners, it makes sense to do so. We saw this a lot on Radisson Station. If you were here last season on Radisson Station, we saw a lot of CC first. I remember Spirit going not even triple, he went quadruple CC before Factory. That was at IM Katowice against Solar. That was disgusting. Like Spirit, he took greed to another level. Like CC first was fine. Like CC first into a second CC before any other tech structure after the racks. That's like we've seen that before as well. But CC went for the greediest build imaginable against Solar on Radisson Station, and he got away with it as well. He got away with it. He got into a macro game. It was crazy what happened. We're not quite going that far here. This isn't as extreme as Radisson Station. The difference is that Radisson Station didn't just give you a pocket base. Radisson Station also had a longer rush distance by ground. Here, the rush distance by ground is shorter than that of Radisson Station. So you can't cut as many corners. Thankfully. When did we add the new emotes? Today. Added them today. Whew. As we are settling in. Getting into our factory follow-up. There we go. 3rd CC before Starport. So still very economic here from Spirit. A greedier start into an economic follow-up. Likewise, back at home, Scarlett getting into her hatch gas pool into a 3rd base. Droning up and settling on it. So far, no aggression in the early game. It's just been all about greed. It's been all about cutting corners. About getting into the later stage of the game in a good position. Where we're settling in, Bobby. We're settling in. Whew. As for now, we do see Spirit being a little bit active with some Hellions. Did initially make a handful of Hellions here. Nothing too crazy. 2 Hellions coming out. 2 more on the way. Just to apply some pressure. Following this up with 2 more Raxes. Getting into our 3-1-1 setup. Starport is done. Getting into our add-ons. And once we do get into the mid-game, we'll see what kind of game state we're going to be in. We don't really have too many Hellions to really punish the mineral line. We have 4 Hellions, sure, but this is just to deny creep. Just to deny creep, just to maintain map control. The mineral lines should be safe and sound, and Scarlett is free to drone. Likewise, there's no Banshee follow-up, so no Banshees, no Liberator harass. No Vikings either. As we did make an extra pair of Hellions. Okay, getting up to 6. We have 6 Hellions. This is a little bit more threatening. Does have to be respected. Behind this, double Evos finishing up. Again, it was Evo Chamber, I believe, before Lair. So double Evo Chamber into a Lair, into a Bailey Nest. So very greedy here, or again, as greedy as Spirit even from Scarlett. Prioritizing upgrades first before Bailings. And there it is. Now the Lair is on the way. So Bailing speed is going to be delayed in favor of faster upgrades, and we should be able to get away with it. There's no need to rush into Bailing speed at this stage. We're okay. Scarlett establishing her gold, now taking another hatchery. Lings do confirm the 3rd base being landed. So Scarlett double expanding. Meanwhile, Spirit back at home getting into his own upgrades, building up towards Bio Tank. Now is not the time, or now is yet the time to really move out. We have medevacs on the way. Once the medevacs arrive, we can start going for some drops. Until then, we're just making our way into our game 1 post-youth. Oh, I say drops. We're actually going to be pushing. Okay, this is an earlier move out for Spirit. This is going to be a 6-minute move out instead with our 1 tank. Okay, 2nd tank is going to be reinforcing as quickly as possible with those boosted medevacs. So this is hitting slightly earlier here, and Scarlett won't have Bailings to defend. It'll be Ling Queen. 7 Bailings now being morphed in, but we can try to get on top of the gold base. Here we go. We are pushing forward. Queens, they move forward to the front line. Poison being pulled away from the gold. Yeah, the gold base is evacuated. But the tanks, they're within range. They're within range of the hatchery. Scarlett trying to set up a flank, coming in from behind, but there are Hellions. Hellions are in position. They will defend. The Lings, they barely will get us around though. Oh, they don't get the tank. No shot. They don't get the tank. Oh, a really rough moment here for Scarlett. The tank should have gone down, but it survived. And that means we get the hatchery. Scarlett, she committed so hard to try to save it, was unable to. The hatchery goes down. And Scarlett is in trouble. The base does fall. We do have a backup hatchery towards the left. But that's where Spirit is headed. He's headed for that base. Scarlett once again getting ready for a surround. This time there's only one Hellbat, thankfully. Only the one Hellbat to defend. Hellbat goes down, tanks go down, but we get the hatchery. Yeah, 2 bases, well worth it here for Spirit. He can hold the line as well. No Bailings, no reason to pull back. And a very successful attack here from Spirit, and he's not done. He's reinforcing. You can see on the main map, he is just consolidating his army, bringing everything together, and now that he's denied the 4th and 5th base once, he can do it again. Like, right now, Spirit has momentum on his side, and he can just keep rocking up and knock down that base over and over again and just starve Scarlett out. We see Scarlett trying to retake this gold, but it's on the low ground. The creep is less than ideal. We do have some more Ling Bane, though. Now we are setting up once again for our flank. We're diving in. Yeah, we get a surround on the first tank. 2nd tank going to be going down as well. Ooh, Scarlett will force this back. Very important here. We do preserve all of the bio, but we did clean up all the tanks. The tank count was reset, And we need to establish this base. It's so important. As Spirit still has momentum. Still a very tense moment for Scarlett. Scarlett, it may even be worth double expanding. She may opt to expand on the right-hand side. Speaking of, Spirit is dropping on that side of the map. Let's see. Speaking of drop play. Okay, triple drop towards the left. Going for our Doom drop. No, do we spot it? We barely catch a glimpse. Did he notice? Did Spirit notice? Marines going for a run by catching a tumor. I don't see an army repositioning in the main base. I don't think Spirit is aware of the Doom drop. Of those triple drop lords. At the same time, double drop into the main base of Scarlett. Good position for the Marines. Lings will eventually clean this up, but yeah, Spirit just trading as efficiently as possible. Gets eyes on the new would-be 5th. 2-2 is not done. Infestation as well, we should be working towards, or we will soon be working towards a hive. Working towards potentially ultras, as we have not invested into hydras or spire. So this looks like Ling Bane into Viper Ultra. Looks to be the case. We'll see. Meanwhile, 5th base is left alone. We're able to slowly get it up and running here. Here comes that triple drop into the main. And Spirit, there's not much in position. And not much. SCVs are going down. Could we even deny these upgrades? I mean, 2-2 is about to finish up, so we may not be able to deny them, but here we got at the same time, Bailey's rushing in towards the Planetary. Yeah, Planetary's under fire. Nice spread here from Spirit. Does avoid those Bailings, but we get 10 SCVs in the main, and we crash into the Planetary. The 4th base goes down. Yeah, Spirit getting pulled apart. Yeah, now it's Spirit's turn to be the defender. Spirit does lose the 4th. 16 SCVs as well. Ay, ay, ay. With that Scarlett, she's back in this. Limited anti-air, so these Liberators, they're going to be so annoying. Oof, they're going to be so frustrating to deal with. Denying mining at both bases. Catching an Investor as well. Hive is about to finish. Again, that will give us access to the Ultra Cavern. If that's the direction we're headed in. Meanwhile, we reload those Dropper Lords, going back into the main again. Don't think Spirit has left much in the main base to defend. That is concerning. It's going to be concerning. Liberator sieging up, creep, encroaching on the bases of Spirits. Oh, that's a lot of mules! Uh-oh. It's a lot of mules exposed. The SVs and mules are going to be going down. Forced to pull away once again. Adrenals in production. Lings in the mineral line. Spirit forced all the way back. And the Lings, they get the eBays. Yeah, very important. They deny one eBay, they're going for the other. This will heavily delay 3-3. Wasn't able to deny 2-2, but will delay 3-3 for quite some time. Scarlett will take an upgrade lead. There's that Ultra Cavern that we spoke about. So Ling Bane into Ultra Viper. It's a way to overwhelm. It's a way to break through these kind of siege lines. The Vipers with their blinding clouds are going to be so important in the next fight. Scarlett, I don't think we should be necessarily pushing in at least until we have those Vipers, but we may have free supply. I mean, Scarlett is about to max out. We're getting there. Spire on the way as well. Okay, so we're thinking further ahead. Spire is going to be for potentially a greater Spire. Corruptors, potentially Brood Lords for a longer game. Well, Triple Drop is going to be missed. Oh! Tank's just going to be going up. Ling's back in the main as they do on Burrow. I believe the Triple Drop is going to go unscattered across the map. Kind of threaten the main bases. Ultras have begun. And Triple Drop does come in. Drones are going down. Likewise, Scarlett being forced back. Oh, that's going to be a lot of damage. 15 workers already. Oh my god. The blink of an eye, 15 drones do fall. And the hatchery as well. A big pick off there for Spirit. Gets the base. Can also threaten, the hatchery on the low ground. Scarlett's trying to keep up. At the same time, we do send out a force towards the left-hand side. We're going for the 5th. Thungles connect, but there's no follow-up, and the 5th base goes down. Oh, Scarlett knocked down to 3 hatcheries. Just lost 2. We have potential with these fungals. We still have potential. Ghost Academy now on the way. This Ghost Academy is late. It is a late Ghost Academy. 3-3 just now beginning as well. Oh, we do catch a Viper. Thankfully, we still have one left. Thankfully, still one Viper. These medevacs have to get the hell out of here. We have a backup 5th. Jump Lords once it for the 3rd time into the main. Oof. One Overlord falls, but we are busting in. At the same time, Ling Bane Ultra towards the right-hand side into tank lines. Nice blinding clouds. They do cover a good portion of these tanks, but the Ultras are going to fall. The positioning, the Sim City, a little bit too good in favor of the Terran. Zerg player has to pull back. Does get 13 SCVs, but I believe that was 3 Ultras. 3 Ultras, a lot of Ling Bane. That was a big investment of gas, and we can see Scarlett plummet in supply. Now, we are rebuilding with more Ultras, additional Vipers as well. But that was a rough fight. It was a rough fight. Oh, the base very low from the earlier drop and also from these Vipers. And Spirit is pushing through. We're not quite ready for this. We have plenty of Ultras though. But they're on their own. There's no support. There's no Ling Bane with the Ultras. There's no Fungals or Blinding Clouds just now coming in towards the end. But that costs us so many Ultras. Oh, it's not cheap. Oh, Fungals from behind. Oh, not quite connecting. There we go. We catch the tail end of the army. Ultra's putting in a lot of work, but here come the Ghosts. And you know what that means. Ghosts, what are they good against? They're good against the Ultra, the Viper, the Infestor, the Queen. All things Zerg, the Ghosts have arrived. Scan reveals another one of these Infestors. We have one Infestor in the back line on the right-hand side. We have potential for a Fungal. If we can lock down this army, then maybe we can take a fight. But we snipe another Infestor, and this hatchery will fall. Spirit just rallying on out. Knows he has momentum. Taking the goal base behind this. Going for the base on the left-hand side once again. We do land a very juicy Fungal. Oh my god. A good Fungal, but where's the follow-up? Yeah, the ground army just wasn't quite there. Lings go for a counterattack. They get into the mineral line. They get cleaned up. And the Spirit is escalating out of control at this point. Snipes are going off. GG gets called as Scarlett runs out of steam, and Spirit will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Very impressive play here out of Spirit. That first push was brutal. If you remember, the first push was at 6 minutes, and Scarlett wasn't quite ready for it. And that first push killed 2 hatcheries. It killed the 4th, it killed the 5th, and Scarlett also committed to fighting that push and lost all the Lings and did not kill the tank. That tank on the right-hand side barely survived the Lings coming in coming in for the surround, and that was a really rough moment for Scarlett. Spirit gained a little momentum from that point. Scarlett was recovering though. Likewise, it was back and forth. We had some very nice drop play into the main time and time again. The Lings, they denied upgrades, they got SCV kills, they dragged the army back home. That drop play was able to recover from the earlier losses that Scarlett had. Was more back and forth, but we saw some rough fights. We bled out a lot of Ultras. We didn't have the best bank because we were struggling with bases. Despite the back and forth, Spirit was constantly just maintaining control of the bases of Scarlett, the 5th, the 4th, even the main and the natural. We just saw constant drop play, Liberator harass, just a really intense style here out of Spirit. Really active, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It's always a lot of fun when there's this back and forth between the Zerg and the Terran. Drops versus drops, run-bys versus run-bys, and again, in the end, it is more important that Scarlett was losing hatcheries, because that didn't just impact the economy, it also impacted the production as well, and just became a little bit too much to handle. The map is also playing a factor into this. The map is really congested. We spoke about it. Unlike Radisson Station, this map has a much shorter rush distance by ground. Likewise, these pushes from Terran don't take long at all to get onto your bases. Like, it takes seconds to just move out, get into your 4th base, get into your 5th base, and knock it down. Like, there's very little time to react, very little time to respond. It's yeah, really open and sparkling Tuna Cup, which we did have earlier today. So thank you. As we're getting into game 2 and spawning, in the bottom left we have top left we have Scarlett for Shopify, and in the bottom right we have Spirit for Psystorm Na'Vi. Whew. Here we go. We have our TVZ, and again, game 1 was really intense, but I want to believe that here in game 2, we can bounce back and make a series out of this. Okay, now that it's Scarlett's map of choice, I'm sure she's going to be a little more comfortable getting into Goldenora. Likewise, Spirit won't be anywhere near as greedy as he was last time. If you remember, Spirit went for a CC first build, went CC first into his racks in that previous game, was cutting certain corners. I say that, he's doing it again. This is the power of Spirit. Spirit, he is known for his greed, especially in TVZ, and even on some of these otherwise more exposed maps, CC first at his Spirit. He's very fond of it. Very fond of it. We see this a lot, especially in the Polish regionals with Spirit versus a Laser. Just non-stop CC first builds. He's an animal. He's an absolute animal. Again, the greediest builds, one of the greediest builds you can go for. I say one of because you can go for like a fast 3rd CC and 4th CC before like factory as well. On some of these other maps. Not on this one. So it's not legal. Not legal on Goldenora. Maybe on post-2. Maybe. Ooh, as we're calming things down. And our SCV scout is moving out across the map. Spirit is moving out with his scout. Scarlett back at home, going hatch gas pull, standard opener. Now, on a map like Goldenora, we have seen a lot of roach aggression be successful on this map. I'm curious if we're planning on going for something similar. I was also going to get into, we've seen a lot of gasless openers in ZVT on this map as well. We saw this from Dark, and we saw this actually earlier today. I think it was Eba. I think Eba went for a gasless opener. Yeah, Eba versus Nickrat in Sparkling Tunic Cup. But we can see Scarlett did take her gas at a standard timing. The reason why we sometimes see a bit of a popularity of gasless on this map is because of how close the natural and the third base are. Because they're so close, you can get away with skipping link speed, defending with queens, and going into roaches. You can kind of cut those corners and get away with that. But you can see that's not the case here. More standard play instead. Settling into a more standard game for the time being. We do see Spirit going for his factory follow-up. We'll see if we go for a 3rd CC before Starport for Spirit. We're banking minerals. It looks like we are. Yeah, there it is. CC in the main. So 3rd command center before Starport. This is as economic as you can get here in this matchup. Starport now on the way, going for the add-on swap, going for Hellions. And with our Hellions, Spirit will gain map control and will be active across the map. Meanwhile, Scarlett dipping in for a scout. 2 links into the mineral line. Well, actually, all 4 links into the mineral line. We get 1 SCV. 1 SCV goes down, and can we get a second? Up. Oh, not quite. Not quite the second worker, but we get 1. We spoke of roach play, and actually, there it is. Roach Warren gets thrown down for Scarlett. When I said roach play is more common here, I was leaning more along the lines of roach play after a gasless build, but roaches nonetheless for Scarlett. Again, we can be quite assertive with them off of 3 bases. Aliens moving out, Overlord's on the way. I'm curious, are we going to be droning from here? I don't see any workers. We're going all in. I don't know if you could hear. I was holding my breath. My eyes were just glued to the production tab. I was like, where are the drones? Where are the drones? Nah, no drones, papi, no drones. 11 roaches on the way. Let's go. We are going to be setting it here. Very strong timing from Scarlett. Spirit has yet to piece it together. Spirit has yet to confirm. He missed the lings. He has yet to enter any mineral lines. Spirit is in the dark. Ravagers are on the way. It's going to be all or nothing here for Scarlett. Now, Spirit is keeping some Hellions back at home. Roaches, ooh, were they spotted? They will be now. Okay, roaches are confirmed. Spirit knows. He's aware of what's going on, but can we defend? Remember, it was an economic build. It was a third CC before Starport. Banshee production has begun, but we have very little time to respond. We fully wall off at the natural. First Banshee has arrived. We can focus on the Ravagers, that is true, but the Ravagers are already here. And when this wall gets knocked down, we can bust into the mineral line. Hellions have arrived. Boys are being pulled away. Yeah, the natural's being evacuated. We ignore the natural. We bleed out one. We bleed out a second Ravager. One Ravager left. So far, really nice response here from Spirit. Ravager is going to be targeted. Boys are being pulled to repair. Spirit barely losing any SCVs. Oh, and now we're on 2 Banshees. We're going to focus all of this down. Okay. And Scarlett is transitioning. Scarlett back at him. She's droning. Scarlett's droning up. She did kill some depots. She knocked down eBays and she denied mining. So damage was done, but this was not game ending. Not by any means. And the scary thing now is the counterattack. That's what I'm concerned about here. We bled out a lot of Roaches, a lot of Ravagers, a lot of Lings. We'll see if Spirit is going to be active as he's walling up and settling into 2 bases. Third CC is now on the way, or it's now being thrown down. And it looks like Spirit is keeping his army at home and only moving out with the Banshees. We'll see if we're active once again with the Hellion Cyclone. It is going to be bio play out of Spirit. Does have +1 attack. Banshees moving out. They do confirm that there is no 4th. Scarlett's still on 3 bases. An even base count with the Terran. Banshees do rock up at the 3rd, and we do deny some mining time, catching 3 drones. Very nice. Pick up 3 gas mining workers, and Spirit is establishing that 3rd. Oh, we don't just get the drones, we get a queen! Queen is going to go down. Likewise, Spirit saturating the 3rd base. Tank production well underway. Stim is done. Combat shield's finishing up. Spirit is stabilizing. He's Spirit. He's stabilizing. Looking good here on 3 bases. Gets eyes on the 4th. Can apply some pressure. Ooh, can we force a cancel? Queens are on the way, and we get here. Can we get here in time? It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. Banshees are taking damage. It looks like we will barely force this away. I say that we rotate around, and we force a cancel. That's a big moment here for Spirit. Cancels the 4th. Hellies in the mineral line. No, and the mineral line gets roasted. Drones are going down. 14, 15 workers, 16. Ay, ay, ay. 17 drones fall. A massive counterattack. The Hellions, unfortunately, we had no eyes on them. Banshees are still wreaking havoc. We got 1 more drone in the main for the cost of a Banshee, so at least we shot 1 of them down. But Spirit is ahead. Spirit, he takes an economic lead. He is ahead economically. He's working on his upgrades, working on a 4th CC. Spirit is in a solid position. The pressure is now on Scarlett to bounce back. Now, Scarlett is making infestors. There is a chance. There's a world. If Spirit moves out, and if Scarlett can land some juicy fungals, we can take a fight. Can take a fight. Likewise, you can see Scarlett's ready for a counterattack. When Spirit moves on to creep, when his army is revealed, Scarlett can go for a big run by at the 3rd or at the natural and into a mineral line and get some economic damage done. There is a lot of potential here for some damage, but I'm not so sure we can save the 4th hatchery. Yeah, we sim on forward, we focus on the base, it's going to be killed. There's no saving it, the hatchery goes down. Big pick up. At the same time, drop on the left-hand side, going for the backup 5th. This time we should save it. Yeah, we have roaches, we're okay. We're okay. The drop does rotate over towards the main, catching a queen. We do land a fungal! Oh, but just the one. Just the one fungal. Drop does escape. At the same time, Lings, oh, they do pull back. And that backup 5th base, sorry, the backup 4th base on the left-hand side is very low. It took a lot of hits. It took a lot of damage. It's very low. It is prone to falling here. And yeah, Spirit, he's setting up. He's setting up with the double drop towards the left. We still have our drop on the right. Boys are going to the main. Infestors creeping off the army. Can we land a fungal? Oh! Oh, not quite. We land the fungal, but we do lift in time. At the same time, Scarlett will defend towards the bottom left. So far, Scarlett has split up her army, is in position. So far, so good. Spire is on the way. We land a Fuggle! That's what we're looking for. Big connections. Very nice cleanup. 2 medevacs go down. Scarlett is maxed out. Spirit pushing right down mid. And nice spread here, these tanks. Not going to be easy to engage into. Banshee going ham on the Infestors. Ooh, gets one. Infestor goes down. Hatchery under fire. We try to come in from behind, and one of these tanks should fall. At least one. Looks like a second. I say a second. It's going to be 3 tanks falling. Nice bounce here out of Scarlett. She does break out. At the same time, drones are falling. Bases are falling as well. Scarlett deals with the main army, but that's going to be 8, 9 drones falling. And that was a kill in the hatchery. That was a kill in the 4th. 12 workers do go down. Nice pick up from Spirit. As it does settle, Spirit is still ahead economically. We can see here, even though we have similar drone counts, we're long distance mining. Spirit did bleed out. It was 3 or 4 tanks, but we're getting ready for another wave. We're getting ready for a second push. Tanks are unsieged, but they're setting up. They are setting up. Ravager's not able to get their biles off. Not yet. Here we go, we're pushing in. Do push forward, 1 tank gets biled. But this Marauders. Yeah, it's not just Marines this time, we have Marauders in the mix as well. We sim on forward, we take a bile to the face. But alas, it looks like we may just have too much. So we're breaking through that defensive line, getting on top of the hatchery once again. At least Scarlett has a 4th, but so does Spirit. Spirit even has a 5th on the way. Again, that's just how terrifying the Terran economy is right now. As he's maintaining, if not exceeding, the economy of the Zerg. Hive is done, we're working towards Broodlords. That could be a way to slow things down. But Spirit already in Scarlett's face. Going for the 3rd. Tanks are slowly pushing forward. Ghosts have arrived as well for snipes. On the biles! Oh, massive connections! Very nice biles. Very nice fungal. Catching, what was that, like 4 medevacs? It was insane. And the Broodlords have arrived. Very little anti-air. The Broodlords will shut this down. We hold. Whew. Scarlett does hold on again. The biles were crazy earlier. We clean up all these tanks. Spirit falls in supply. The efficiency of Scarlett was insane. But do we have enough to counterattack? That's the question. Regardless, we are. We are counterattacking. We deny a CC. It's a planetary on the low ground. Ghosts are amassing. But Spirit needs time. Spirit needs time to build up. Bars will connect. The planetary looks so close to falling. We come in from behind. The Broodlords! We catch 2! There's 2 Broodlords left. 2 Broodlords remaining. Soon to be 1. Soon to be 0. We catch every single Broodlord. The planetary did go down, but it cost us the Broodlords. It was an expensive trade for Scarlett. It did cost us every single Broodlord. Now, thankfully, Scarlett, her 4th base has been left untouched. Her 4th base, the triangular 3rd, has been mining freely this entire time. We're double expanding as well, taking top right, or the center base. The northern center base. It's still close. Still could go either way. Earlier it looked like Spirit had this in the bag, but that is not the case. As it looks like this northern hatchery will fall, but it's not mining, it's not the most important base. Likewise, we focus on as many workers as we can. Catching 2. Spirit forced to lift. Spirit likewise has not begun 3-3. +3 carapace is now on the way for Scarlett. Looks like Spirit just doesn't have the spare resources for those upgrades. Again, Spirit does need the 5th. As the CC is getting up and running. Sensor tower on the way. And the game slows down. It's been a very intense 15-minute game so far, and the game is going to slow down for a moment here. Aggression subsiding for both players. Both players setting up. Getting up towards 80 workers. Ooh, full medevac goes down. Big pickoff. Very nicely done. Medevac full. Spirit pushing on the left-hand side. That is a massive siege line. I believe we did make some Vipers. I think I saw them on the production tab earlier. Yeah, Vipers are coming in. They do powerbomb the Vikings at least. Vikings go down. With the Bio Army coming from the right-hand side, we snipe some of those Infestors. Infestor falls. We get on top of the base. The base falls as well. Scarlett is being denied that 5th over and over again. Now, I refer to those Vipers because it's going to be so important to blind and cloud these tanks. Likewise, it's going to be important to avoid those ghosts. Speaking of, here come the EMPs. The Fungal! Massive Fungal of the ghosts, and we get, oh my god, 5 ghosts! Yeah, 4 to 5 ghosts just went down. The blinding clouds were insane as well. A massive fight here for Scarlett. Got a good half of the ghosts. 3-3 finally starting for Spirits. So delayed. We catch more of these tanks. Expensive losses. Yeah, these are brutal losses for Spirit. Another 2 tanks go down. Oh my god. And these are not cheap. How do we make up for this? The gold base, papi, the gold base. Spirit floating over towards the gold. Scarlett is maxed out. I believe we have not built up any more Brood Lords, not yet. It is always an option. Likewise, working towards our own 3-3. +3 range, +3 melee. Meanwhile, Spirit working towards Liberators. Is Liberator range on the way. Scarlett rotating around. Scarlett cannot allow this gold base to get up and running. That'd be insane. Like, it's just gonna be such a massive win for Spirit if he can get that base. Can then recoup his losses. And yeah, we go for a massive link counterattack into the middle line. 13, 14, 16 SCVs go down. And the CC catches fire. Whew. Once again, we do deny those bases. Spirit at least is on 5 Nexus, regardless. Nexus, what? 5 CCs. He's on 5 bases. We'll attempt to retake the gold. Meanwhile, further upgrades on the way. Ultra Cavern just to free up our tech and give us a little bit more flexibility. Another tank going down. Oh. Whilst grazing the ByuN. Does graze the army. Do pull back. It's still a very tense moment. I'm loving the Nidus roam on the way to give us the opportunity to maybe even dive into the main. Spirit catching up with the Vipers, so we get 1! The Vikings are locked down. Well, 1 Viper did fall. There's 1 Viper left. Big Roach counterattack on the right-hand side. I'm loving the use of these Roaches just because they don't really scale well into the late game, so we have to get rid of them. And how better to get rid of them than to trade with SCVs, depots. Solid run by Scarlett, replacing those Roaches with Lings. Plus one carry base about to finish. Just on the hunt. Likewise, a Changeling in the main. We have that Nidus for him, remember that. So we are setting up for a Nidus into the main. Likewise, Ghost going off. Fungal once again on the Ghost. No follow-up, but a solid Fungal nonetheless. Solid Fungal there from Scarlett. Roaches are being cleaned up, but we spoke about it like we wanted to get rid of these Roaches. They're not. They've served their purpose. Just are cleaned up. We're making 8 Ultras behind this. Now, the Ghost count is looking solid. for Spirit, so Spirit does have what he needs against Ultras, but his Liberator count is lacking. Ideally, we want that Ghost Tank Lib. Nidusworm into the main base. So far, no reaction. Okay, there we go. I was gonna say no reaction from Spirit. Does respond. Ooh, the SimCity was not rebuilt. Don't have the wall off at that center base. Scarlett expanding towards the top right hand side. Catching more of these tanks. Once again, brutal losses here. There just wasn't enough support. So many tanks and Liberators going down. Spirit does fall in supply. This was just an awkward fight for him. Spirit at least has the gold though. The gold is up and running. Spirit can still sustain. Denies this right hand base. Now, because Spirit is investing so heavily into these siege-based units, this is the moment where we can pull the Terran player apart. The Terran player has to split up between both the right and left hand side. Failings crash in, connecting with the Marines. We're going for the hatchery. Can we get it? Up! Oh, we can! Hatchery does go down. So does center left. Massive power bomb here on the Medivacs. So much damage dealt. These Ultras come in for a run by, and there's not many Marauders or Ghosts, so the Ultras they can trade well against this. Yeah, they break through the Marines, they get on top of the tanks, and oh my god, we just rotate the entire army. And this planetary is not going to get up and running. I mean, the planetary will finish, but it should go down. And we're going to keep on pushing. While taking down another Medivac. So many Medivacs go down. Spirit can barely keep up. And again, that's the advantage of this Zerg army, is this mobility. You have to just poke left and right, back and forth. Make sure we can take these fights wherever the ghosts are not. Again, that's why the planetary was able to go down. There were no ghosts ready for them. Ready for the army. This time, Spirit does keep up. But the ghost count, I believe, is still very low. Because we lost so many ghosts earlier. It's still quite low. And Scarlett is going to commit. We get a blinding cloud on one of these tanks. Late reaction with the ByuN army. Spirit otherwise distracted. And this is a massive push. Scarlett catching so many tanks. And shuts down the planetary. Gold base now no longer in control of Spirit. Scarlett expanding on the right hand side. Could even take the gold as well. Yeah, this was such a back and forth game. Earlier in this game, it looked like Spirit was about to win. This was back when Spirit was denying the 5th and the 4th base over and over again and pushing towards the 3rd. But Spirit did overextend. And Scarlett is coming back. Or has come back. Rotating over towards the natural. Not quite committing. Liberator does hold the line. The Ghost Count now looking a little bit stronger. Once again, Spirit attempting to expand on the left-hand side. Additional bases being taken. Oh, that tank line is looking quite intimidating, but another planetary goes down. The center base falls. We have an orbital here on at the gold base, but yeah, it's not going to be able to hold its own. Nidusworm in the main. Now, Spirit is still maxed out. Like, Spirit has a solid army. At a certain point, we may just force a push. Like, it's possible that Spirit may just send it across the map and just go for one big all-in. That is on the table for Spirit. Yeah. At this point, after losing the bases on the left-hand side, he may just focus on expanding on the right and then just push. Like, Spirit has been stuck defending this entire time. Has been going for a couple of drops here and there, but no major engagements. As you can see, as Spirit moves towards the right, Lings they move towards the left. SCVs are going down. We deny so much mining, catching so many SCVs. Now, as the SCV count is getting lower, the army count is getting higher for Spirit. The army supply is what he's focusing on. Oh, as I say that, oof, full medevac goes down. We're attempting to take this base. CC on the way. And again, I don't want to count Spirit out yet because of how much potential his army has. So the goal for Spirit, the goal for a while has been Spirit wants to actually be there for a fight. Like Spirit wants to be present and in position, and if Scarlett overextends into Spirit, then that's going to trigger a counterattack. And then that's going to be the moment that Spirit needs. He's looking for. Nice run once again into the main. Scarlett hoping to avoid that big fight. Hatchery going to be going down. Not a bad pickoff. Scarlett, meanwhile, taking the gold. Medevac falls. And because Spirit's been bleeding out these units, he just can't really remax. He can't really max out. Night Swarm finishing, we immediately just saturate the gold. Because that Night Swarm, we can also evacuate the gold if it's ever under fire. So really good use of the Nidus. Cyril does this a lot as well. Where if you're in the late game and you have these fringe bases, that's where you throw down the Nidus Worms. So you can evacuate or even just reinforce. Spirit turtling up. We're rolling up, Happy. Rolling up. This planetary going to be going down. Spirit, he's nowhere to be found. Again, Spirit, he's focusing his attention towards the north. Again, he was hoping that Scarlett would push in, but alas, not getting the fight that he wanted. Spirit just wants to fight with his tanks. And his libs. With all of this. Broodlord's on the way. Let's go. Getting ready for Broodlord Infestor. 5 Broodlords in production. Spirit rotating over. Spirit does scan, does spot the army. Is aware. Now, basically, what we should be seeing from here is that Spirit should be attempting to expand and take top right. Like, top right was being mined from by Scarlett, but I believe still has a lot of resources. So Spirit can take that base. Likewise, you can see Scarlett rotating towards the south. Spirit should rotate towards the north, like expansion-wise. Yeah, you can see the CCs floating over. Meanwhile, the ghosts are distracted. Broodlords pushing forward. I believe only 5 at Broodlords. There's that CC floating over. Turret goes down as well. Another Nidus into the main, and we don't have much to defend. Uh-oh. This Nidus may just finish. And if it does, Scarlett may just take control of the main. Nothing in the Nidus Worm. The Lord's overextending for a moment. We do pull back. Mike is coming in. I'm loving the land there. Does avoid the power bomb. Lands the Viking. Still just a very tense moment. Spirit has finally maxed out. We spoke about it before. Like, Spirit was really struggling to max out because he kept bleeding out units, but now is at 160 army supply compared to the 136 of Scarlett. Has been amassing Vikings. The Broodlord kind of stayed low, but we have a lot of Corruptors to support. And still only 5 Broodlords. Now 2 more on the way. Getting up to 7. Now getting up to those 7 Broodlords. Fungal grazing the army. Bad. Raising the army, ultras coming in from behind, trying to catch some of the bio army, and we do get some swipes in. It did cost us 2 ultras. I mean, Scarlett does have a bank to work with. Don't let that fool you. With 1,000 gas, like we can kind of remax once. Like ultras and broodlords are quite expensive. They're quite gas intensive. We can definitely remax with links. We can do that at least. Spirit is rotating towards the south. Snipe's going to be going off. We catch an ultra. We get 1, we get 2, we get 3. 3 ultras go down the base as well. Very nice catch. At the same time, Broodlord's pushing in towards the right-hand side. Broodlord's gaining ground. Liberators are pushing forward, but here come the Corruptors. Power bombs going off. We do catch some Infestors. Good pickups. Infestors going down. Scarlett has retaken top right. And Spirit needs to deny it. Hunting down those Broodlords. Oh my god. Not quite committing. See, it's 1 Viper. 1 Viper for Scarlett. Which isn't a lot. And here comes the ground army. Crouch is pushing forward. Broodlord's pushing in as well. How good are the snipes going to be? Oh, this choke point is brutal. Bailey's they crash into Marauders. Tanks going ham. Snipe's going to be going off. And again, can we get on top of those broods? Can we get close to Fungal? Doesn't quite connect. There's potential. Fungal's not quite connecting. Snipe's going to be going off here on a lot of the Corruptors, but it looks like we just cannot get on top of the broods. Yeah, the broods, they break on through. They break down the main army. And remember, Spirit doesn't have a bank. He's broke. Spirit is broke. Scarlett takes the fight, and with that, there's almost nothing left. There's almost nothing left for Spirit. There's no chance, no shot. We're down to 78 supply. Scarlett has a mining base, has a bank. Again, we needed a better angle for those ghosts. They just could not get on top of those broods. They were just a little bit too far back. Could not get closer. Speaking of, we do snipe a couple this time. Oh, but it's gonna cost us ghosts. Oh my god, and here comes the Remax on Ling Ultra. We come in from a flank. GG gets called, and after 34 minutes, Scarlett will take game number 2, tying things up 1-1. GG. Oh my god, a very, very tense game. As a reminder, Scarlett came back from the brink. Things were looking dire. Things looking very dire for Scarlett. Spirit was just in her face, shutting down the 4th, the 5th, the 4th, and the 5th over and over again. And if you remember, there was that one big moment when Spirit pushed in towards the 3rd base, was going for the kill. And if you remember, it was like 25 minutes ago. But it was in that moment when Spirit was pushing up the ramp that Scarlett landed the juiciest fungal imaginable. It was an insane fungal. It caught the entire army. It caught all the medevacs. We followed that up with Biles. And in the split second there, Spirit, he plummeted. I think it was like 40 supply. It was a massive moment when momentum started swinging back in favor of Scarlett. From that moment, Scarlett held, recovered, forced the late game, cut the map in half. We had a back and forth, and Scarlett did come out on top, tying up the series 1-1. GG. GG, papi. GG. Very impressive stuff here. Very impressive play by Scarlett. The comeback was real, and now it comes down to ByuN versus Namshar. Oh boy, another TVZ. Well, that was a Roach roll. Yeah, we don't have to talk about that. There's a reason why Scarlett was up against the one, why Scarlett was struggling. That Roach roll in from Scarlett was a little bit lackluster, if you remember. That's one of the reasons why Spirit had so much control of the game, because Spirit was able to maintain on 3cc, survive the Roach roll in, and have a little momentum upgrade-wise and tech-wise from that moment. So true, like there are facets, right? There are layers of back and forth play there between Scarlett and Spirit. And yeah, with that, we're getting ready for our next ZVT. Gonna be ByuN versus Namshar, followed by Lambo versus MaxPax. So we have 2 more matches ahead of us. 2 more matches to come. Now, Namshar is a very different kind of Zerg player. I mean, I say that. I don't know if I can say that anymore. Namshar is not the most active player. So I don't know how Namshar is playing. Like, historically, I would say that Namshar is a little bit cheesy. Like, Namshar is a little bit aggressive. Like, we've seen Namshar all in WTL before, in the last season of WTL. Next map. I genuinely didn't realize Namshar still played. Yeah, he's still active. I mean, he played in the last season of DreamHack, right? When I say last season, I should reiterate. Last year's DreamHack, last year. But here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have ByuN for Shopify, and in the top right, we have Namshar for Psystorm Na'Vi. It's kind of like we have like a little like POV of Namshar. Like we can see his movement behind him. Let's go. Let us go. We have half a POV of Namshar's screen. Beautiful. As we are settling in, and again, my eyes are mainly on Namshar for how he does play this out. As for now, it's going to be a hatch first. It's going to be a hatch gas pool opener. We'll see if we go for any earlier gases. We'll see if we go for any earlier Roach Warren. We'll see if Namshar does go for any kind of cheeky tech here against ByuN. I mean, the map itself is a little bit more macro-oriented. It is Gyone, of course, known for its longer macro games. Plenty of base to be taken. The base setup is quite secure as well, at your 3rd and at your 4th. Even the goal base somewhat. There's a reason why we can have longer games. I don't expect to have a longer game like the one that we just saw between Spirit and Scarlett. I don't expect that, but we'll see. We'll see. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Here we go. ByuN is in a slump. Copium, papi, copium. As always, it's going to be a 2 racks opener. Okay, 2 racks Reaper out of ByuN. Let's go. Let us go. As we are going to be settling in. As for now, the Raxes are finishing. Oh, wait, what? Sorry, my apologies. My apologies here. This is a 4-ax. Okay, so we have seen ByuN 4-ax before. It's been a while though. Not gonna lie, it's been a hot minute. It's been a hot minute since I've seen a 4-ax out of ByuN. For those that remember, last year, around the first half, maybe the first quarter of the year, when ByuN was going 2-ax Reaper, a common follow-up for ByuN would be 2-ax Reaper into 4-ax. This is different though. This is just no Reaper. If I'm not mistaken, I believe we skipped all Reapers. This is quite greedy. The reason why I say this is greedy, it's maybe risky is a better way of putting it. We have no map vision. We have no map control. I spoke earlier about how we don't really know the kind of player that Namshar is nowadays. For all we know, he could have been rushing into a Roach Ward, into a Roach push, and if he did, he would just end the game. Like, he would just kill ByuN, because ByuN would have no forewarning, and he would have Vanilla Marines to defend. Speaking of, that's a Roach Warren. Okay. Bappy, you know, I thought we weren't at SC2 safe house yet. You know, I thought we were saving the NA StarCraft for later on down the line. we're getting ready for some nonsense. We're getting ready for some NA StarCraft, Papi. Let's go. It's like I'm casting like Migs versus like Cham. Like, okay. So, Namshar is going for a Roach Rush. Meanwhile, ByuN is getting into a 4-axe stim timing. Now, with this 4-axe, it's a very strong stim timing. You have to be very careful with your stims though. As you can imagine, this is hitting without medevacs. There's no medevacs to support. There's no, because of this, every stim is going to be killing your army, and you have like 1, maybe 2 stims available. You have to be very, very careful with when and how you use them. But this is going to hit like a truck. There's going to be a lot of Marines really early on moving out across the map. Meanwhile, defensively, if we have a good amount of roaches, like they're not too bad defensively back at home, but we're droning. Namshar, we need an army. We need an army right now. Marines moving out across the map. I don't think Namshar knows. I don't think he saw. He has links, but he doesn't have the Zonaga. Namshar, he needed to control the Zonaga to let him know what's going on. He's still droning. Namshar, he's making a couple of roaches, but he's still droning. We need roaches, Papi. We need as many as possible. ByuN is moving out again, and Namshar does not spot the move out. We still want 4. We catch the queens. 1 queen goes down. 2nd queen goes down. The 3rd base is evacuated. We can go for the kill. We ignore the 3rd. We're going straight for the 3rd, straight for the natural. We have a handful of roaches, but it may just not be enough. Yeah, it's ByuN going in for the win here. Boys are being pulled. Roaches are being focused down. We have 3 roaches left. 2 roaches left. Down to 1. Reinforcements do spawn in. Ooh, just in time we get those reinforcements. And Namshar holds. Whew, this is not the cleanest hold, but we hold. We hold. It costs us 7 drones. We barely do survive. Again, if Namshar had the Zonaga, then maybe he would have been able to prepare a little bit sooner. Every second counts. Namshar survives, but Namshar is down in workers. We need to resaturate our bases or just double down. One or the other. We got to make a choice. Right now we're joining. We're joining up. We're taking control of the Zonaga. We're moving out across the map. We do have Marines waiting on the high ground. Namshar has to be careful. Namshar taking the fight here. Shaving off a handful of Marines. We did already use a stim. Bunker isn't done. But no Ravagers. No Ravagers. Yeah, this Roach army still looking a little bit fragile. It's going to be chased down. But it did force some lost mining time. So some good economic damage dealt. Oof. We're forcing out another stim. And a really nice movement here, really nice stutter stepping out of Namshar. Just getting as much value as possible out of these roaches. Picking away at those Marines. Behind this one is on the way. Namshar has been droning. Is saturating his bases. Marines getting knocked down. Again, you can see here, Marines without medevacs, they crumble before roaches. Especially without combat shields. Which they do have now. Do have those shields. Another depot going to be falling. This will supply block ByuN. ByuN is supply blocked. Meanwhile, Namshar pulling back, getting into 1-1. Baliness is on the way to transition into Lingbane Roach or Lingbane Roach Ravager. And Namshar is not in a bad position. We're okay. We're okay. I mean, this drop has a lot of potential. True. We're moving out with that double drop. Now we have medevacs. Now we can sustain ourselves. And now Namshar is on the defensive. Dropping on in, catching a queen. Queen goes down. Queen does go down. We can see the bile's going to be, ooh, not quite connecting. Clutch pick up there out of ByuN. Rotating over, heading into the mineral line. You head into the middle line here. Oh, the biles. Not quite connecting. But again, Namshar, he's holding. Does defend his natural. Forcing back the army. And we're headed for a longer game. Both players establishing their 3rd bases. Namshar does need the 4th. Speaking of 4th CC on the way for ByuN. Terran 4 gate, basically, in a sense. And despite the chaotic nature of the start of the game, we're calming things down and we're headed into a longer game. Now is the time to macro, to drone up, tech up as well. +1 melee's on the way again for that Ling Bane composition that we're working towards. ByuN is moving out through the center, but I believe Namshar should have enough to defend. Should have enough to deal with that push. And Namshar with that supply lead is going to be forcing ByuN back. I mean, we have map control. I don't really think that Namshar has enough to break a defensive ByuN, but we're at least keeping him at home. Yeah, I mean, look at this tank line. That's 4 tanks. I think it's going to be 5. Making 2 tanks at a time. That's a lot of tanks. Double jump into the main. Nothing in position. Oh, drones are going down. We're forcing a big reaction, and we're pushing into the tank line. Pushing into 5 tanks. 2 more coming to reinforce. Big tank volley's going to be going up. Yeah, and ByuN, he completely shuts this down. Ay. This was not it, but this was not it. And likewise across the map, we are wreaking havoc as well. 6 drones falling. Like, Namshar could have taken a fight out in the center of the map, but not defensively. Not a defensive ByuN. Not like that. And with that ByuN, suddenly all the momentum swings in his favor. Suddenly, ByuN, he's ahead economically. He's got 82 SCVs compared to the 67 drones. ByuN is even on bases. Has a massive army. Is looking to pull Namshar apart. And going for the mineral line. Ling Bane rolling in. Not bad connections, but we lift up, we head for the main. Likewise, drop into the natural. ByuN in all of our bases. Wreaking havoc, sniping queens. See, we're trying to work towards infestors and hive tech, but it's not exactly where we need our tech here. And the army was out of position earlier, and I mean, these drops, they're running out of steam. We're going to be able to clean them up. Files do connect. But we're waiting for ByuN to move out. Basically, ByuN, he's about to max, and when he unsieges his tanks, when he moves out with the entirety of his army, that's a terrifying sight. It's going to be a terrifying force here. I think we have like 10, soon to be like 12 or 13 tanks, something crazy like that. 14 workers went down. 5th CC and a 6th CC on the way. And here we go. Here's the unsiege. We actually leave some tanks behind to defend. Never mind. Slowly pushing forward, taking the goal. No major move out yet. Looks like maybe ByuN initially wants to take another fight in his favor first. Tank run by is denied. Rotating over. Here comes that push. See the staggering of the tanks, making sure we can always fall back. Jump on the right, catching workers, pushing on the left. Not that much Ling Bane. Yeah, we're gonna try and break out. First tank does get piled down. Not bad. Solid piles there from Namshar. When it comes to the Bane army, we do find some connections. No splits there out of ByuN. Okay, the best fight that Namshar could have hoped for. As ByuN pushed into the Banelings, we had the best connections possible. We shut down the tanks. A solid defense here by Namshar. We hold. We survive. We can even chase down the remaining tanks. Very little support. Tanks are exposed. Namshar pulling back at the same time. Drop on the right-hand side, but we only get 3 drones. Okay, Namshar's back in this. Like, after that blundered push, Namshar, he is still holding on. I would say that ByuN still has a lead. Like, you can see the production of ByuN is insane because of his economy. Like, he still has a supply lead. He's still rebuilding and remaxing. But Namshar is holding his own. is going to be holding his own here as ByuN is working towards ghosts, refining his army. He's going to be refining his army here as we go for the double drop on the left. Once again, ByuN mainly relying on drop play, and I mean, the drops have been doing damage. This main pushes have been a little bit lackluster. Namshar getting distracted. ByuN pushing through the right-hand side. We get the powerbomb on the medevac. That's a cancel on the hatchery. And because of the activity of ByuN here, we just barely have any creep. The creep is being denied time and time again. We are denying that creep. As a result, like pushing out into the open, like outside of creep like this, it's gonna be so difficult. The Vipers, they're coming in though. They do catch a tank. Oh, yeah, there we go. They do catch a tank. It's all wilds. Tank goes down. Namshar is maxed out. So is ByuN. Both players are maxed. And if Namshar can cash out this army, we can actually snowball. And we're going in. And some of these tanks are on siege. We do end up abducting some of those tanks as well. Nice blinding cloud, but the ghosts, they managed to get away. Ghosts do escape. We're hoping for something like a fungal. Big snipes going off on the Ravagers. Oof. Yeah, forces any banelings on the tanks. Less than ideal. ByuN already remaxed. Namshar still needs more time. Pushing on the right side. Oh my god, this army is so heavily overstimmed. It's so deep in the red. So ByuN knocks down a base and he's going for another. And Sutter steps into the mineral line. Bathings are rolling in and oh, they get some connections. We clean up some of the ghosts. Not a bad catch. Oh, can we get the medevac? Oh. At the same time, 8 workers went down. Ooh, the queen as well. We can see Namshar trying to work towards Lingbane Hydra, getting out of Roach Ravager. Meanwhile, ByuN getting into the soul late game here, getting into mech upgrades. Looks like we're getting ready for Mech Ghost, which is the ideal late game. Like Tank, Hellbat, Viking Ghost, Thor. And that's all we're building up towards. See Namshar trying to set up a surround. We get eyes on the CC. It should fall. Snipes coming in. Oh, Hydras get caught out. Big catch there for ByuN. So you get on top of those Hydras. Likewise, Namshar caught some of the Medevacs coming from behind, catching tanks. Oh my god. Not a bad move out of Namshar, but he will lose the base. And we're lacking Ling Bane. Where are the Lings, Papi? Oh, Hydras on their own. They can't do much. GG gets called. We bleed out the army. We bleed out the base. And ByuN takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. ByuN will take it, but this was a wild game. Remember, it started with a 4-axe. It started with a 4-axe out of ByuN into hyper-aggression, into ByuN overextending. He did overextend when he moved out with his tank army, and we saw Namshar able to hold his own, able to, whenever I'm laddering, because I think you can kind of see it here. We'll get into it. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have ByuN for Shopify, and in the top right, we have Namshar for Sidestorm Na'Vi. But when I'm playing, and if I like shake my knee, or if I like bounce my knee up and down or something, like the whole table shakes, and the webcam shakes as well. does happen. Oh, okay, this time it's looking more standard. This time, ByuN is not spicing things up with a 4-axe. This time, it looks like we're going for a 2-axe Reaper opener from the side of ByuN. First Rax is on the way, and we should soon be seeing the second Rax. Now, what I should emphasize is that ByuN has different variations of this. 2-Rax Reaper, this could turn into 3-Rax Reaper. We could delay the expansion a little bit longer and commit a little bit harder. This could turn into, in the aftermath of a 2-Rax Reaper, into a 2-1-1. It could lead into a 4-Rax again as well. As Namshar is going for a hatch pool opener. Interesting. Okay. Bit of a safer opener out of Namshar. Going for the pool before gas. Both Raxes are on the way. Reapers are going to be on the horizon. And we'll keep an eye on ByuN to see if he does throw down a third Rax. But I believe it should only be 2. It would only be the 2 here. I like the 15-15. I mean, 15-15 is just a really safe opener. Just a very safe opener. It allows you to get earlier queens. It allows you to get earlier lings. It does delay your gases, and it does delay your ling speed as a result. But it's okay. Just very safe play. As Namshar does confirm the 2-Rax Reaper. Does confirm the opener. Or at least 2 Raxes. I mean, there could be a 3rd Rax in the main for all Namshar knows. He's checking for the timing of the CC. But the command center is about to be thrown down. Yeah, Namshar will confirm. Meanwhile, Reaper's moving out. And the goal of these Reapers is going to be to deny the 3rd. That's all we really need to do. If we get any drone kills, if we get a queen, like, that's a bonus. If we get any lings, that's a bonus as well. But really, the purpose is just to contain. And Namshar with his opener is going to be feeling quite comfortable here, just droning up on 2 bases. You can see there the Reapers, they were checking the mineral line, and you can see Namshar slowly working on that on those gold mineral patches. There's that factory follow-up. Reapers once again dipping in, checking the 3rd base. No 3rd yet. And we check for gases as well. Just making sure there's no roach rush or anything crazy as we do dip back in. Tumor goes down. And a ling. Back at home, ByuN going for a 3rd CC before starport. Ooh, the lair is on the... That's a very fast lair here from Namshar. The lair is currently hidden, and if ByuN doesn't go back into the main, he won't scout it. Uh-oh. Okay, with a 3:20 lair time, so this is like 3:15 lair timing. What are we thinking exactly? This could be... We're staying on low gases. Low gases, this could just be a Ling Queen Nidus all in. I say that, but there's no Ling speed. Gas is now on the way. Okay. We're taking 2 more gases. Roach Warren gets thrown down. It's all coming together here. Roach Warren, Overlord speed as well, which you wouldn't get unless you wanted to go into Dropper Lords. And we're droning. I say we're droning. Namshar, he's cooking. we're cooking, Papa. We're cooking. Okay. We're up to 3 gases. Roach Warren's finishing up. Overlord speed on the way. And we'll see how this all comes together. There we go. There come the drop lords. So we're going for a Roach Queen all in. This feels really weird. This is a build that you mainly see against Protoss. You rarely see this against Terran. The last time I saw this, I remember Raynor was doing this on Gressvan. This was like a map pool, maybe 2 map pools ago. He was doing this on Gressvan. If he ever saw his opponent playing mech, he would go for this. He'd go for like a Roach Queen all in. But I guess this would hit a little bit later, just because like, you have to recognize mech first. And then it'd be reactive. So, yeah, we'll see. As we do manage to get behind the mineral line, Roaches are confirmed, Roaches are spotted, ByuN is aware, he gets 3 drone kills, he does delay the push. No! The double load! Oh, the full double load goes down the queens as well. Ah, the reaction from Namshar. He laughs a little bit, shakes his head. I mean, that's... no. I mean, that was 4 queens going down. ByuN, he's throwing down eBays. He's chilling. He's fine. He's good. Yeah, we're good. We have a Banshee knocking down those Ravagers, able to avoid those Biles. ByuN chilling on 2 bases, getting a 3rd CC as well, landing on location. And Namshar is still gonna try and piece this all together here. We still have roaches. We still have a lot of roaches, right? We still have some queens. This push is gonna be later, but you know, maybe ByuN was too greedy. I'm loving the queen harass. Oh, the drop play. Let's go. We shut down the Banshee. Did cost us some Ravagers. The Banshee goes down. We have a bunker behind this. Namshar is still committed. But we cannot afford to lose another Overlord. Oh my god, the Overlord gets locked on. We shut down the queens. The Dropper Lord as well. May have lost the full Dropper Lord. And ByuN is chasing this down. We're bleeding out so many roaches here in the retreat. Roaches, queens, files, not quite connecting. And yeah, the longer this goes on, the better it's going to be for ByuN. As Namshar is attempting to stabilize. Getting into additional, getting into just Roach Ravager for the time being, just so we can survive, just so we have an army. 3rd base, somewhat getting saturated. But ByuN does have the economic lead. We're on an even base count. ByuN has more SCVs, and he's got mules on top of that as well. And Namshar, he's cutting workers. So we're getting ready for a 2nd all. I guess this is a 3rd all-in. We're getting ready for wave number 3. Let's go. Mastering of roaches, Ravagers. Yeah, 3rd time's a charm. True, true. 3rd time is the charm. Do have roach speed on the way. Mario usually laughs too. Yeah. Mario usually laughs as well. I mean, a lot of players do. Whenever they mess up. Like, Hero does it. The Hero's always smiling, to be fair. As we go for the triple jump into the main base. Queen's gonna be knocked down. Roach Ravager trying to keep up. We will force a pickup. Do you force the army out of the main? As we do bleed out quite a lot of Roach Ravager here, we do not get the tank. The tank survives. Roach Ravager goes down. Namshar sending it across the map. It's all or nothing. One way or another. We're down on top of the tank. We get a full surround. The tank takes an extra hit. Does fall. We get 6 SCVs. Bio Army collapsing the army. GG gets called as we run out of steam, and ByuN will take the series 2-0. Creating a lead for his team for Shopify Rebellion. GG, well played. I appreciate that Namshar was coming in with a specialized build. If you remember at the very start of the series, this is kind of what we were expecting. We were like, oh, you know what? I expect like Namshar to come in with a specialized all-in, you know, in one of these games. And we saw that in game 2. And it was very unique. It was very special to rush into the lair, to rush into drop lords in such a way. Unfortunately, it did fall on its face, so it didn't quite hit the way we were hoping for. But I appreciate the build nonetheless, and the plan from Namshar in game number 2. Game 1 was wild. It was chaotic. It was nonsense. It was game 1 was it was StarCraft, I guess. With the initial 4 racks and the roach play and then the back and forth, it was a wild game. With that, Shopify Rebellion do take a 3-1 lead over Psystorm Na'Vi, but here comes the ace player. The ace player of Psystorm Na'Vi, one of the best Protoss players in the world, if not the best Protoss player in the world, MaxPax. If they needed a player to 2-0, MaxPax is the one. MaxPax is going to be coming in as the favorite player over Lambo. I want to believe that Lambo can fight back, but it is going to be an uphill battle against MaxPax. And likewise, what I love about Lambo is that he always comes in prepared as well. There was an interview. There were interviews last season in WTL, and Lambo was talking about how Shopify, they take WTL very seriously, and they are one of the few teams that does like prepare for every single match, for every single opponent, or each week, I should say, on a weekly basis. They do spend time to go over replays, to analyze their opponents, and to get ready for their match. So because of this preparation format, that does give Lambo an edge. I do think that Lambo, he is a really good preparation player. I think that's where he really thrives. I think that's one of the big strengths of Lambo, is kind of like planning a series ahead of time. He's a little bit more methodical in that way. And because of that, we could see an upset. We could see Lambo bring MaxPax down. All that Lambo needs is one game. One game is all he needs. Meanwhile, MaxPax needs a 2-0. We need a 2-0 out of MaxPax. We need at least one game from Lambo to win it all. Cold in Sydney? It is very cold in Sydney. It is. I'm freezing. But here we go. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have Lambo. Sorry, top right-hand corner, we have Lambo for Shopify. In the top left, we have MaxPax for Psystorm Na'Vi. Let's go. Whew. Let us go. As oh my god, have we? Okay. Oh my god, I was like, have we lost connection? No, the clean feed has lost connection. It looks like they may regame. They may regame here, as it looks like we have some technical issues with our observer. Oh, okay, no, we're back. Okay, we're good. We're good. We are good. As we do have Lambo going for the hatch gas pool. MaxPax does force the unnatural natural from Lambo. Meanwhile, MaxPax opening up with a gate expand back at home. So far, standard openers. Here we go. As for now, we are going to be settling in. Do have, yeah, just standard setup here from Lambo. And again, my eyes are definitely on Lambo initially. I say initially, what's interesting about MaxPax is, if you've been watching a lot of his games as of late, especially in the ESL Open Cups, ESL Open Cup Americas specifically, we've seen a lot of MaxPax's PvZ. He's been playing week after week against Solar. He's been playing a lot against Solar in those finals. And we have seen MaxPax mix it up. Not just go for these kind of standard, Stargate openers into Blink, into, standard play. We've seen a lot of aggression. We've seen a lot of Glaive Adept openers. We've seen Stargate into a third, into delayed Glaives, or into H-Gate, Blink Stalker, 3-way Soul-Ins. We've seen a lot more aggression out of MaxPax. He's been mixing it up quite a lot against Solar, at least. So this shows us that MaxPax is willing to deviate and willing to be one to scout, right? He's not necessarily a predictable player. Not as much as he otherwise once was. And he's maybe a little bit predictable in other matchups, especially PvP, but here in PvZ, he's been showing a wider kind of breadth of play. He has been showing more versatility. And he's pretty good at it. He's pretty damn good at it as well. So we'll see if Lambo can keep up. But now, Lings are moving out across the map. They're going to be scattered around, trying to get a read on what's going on. Likewise, Stargate opener initially from MaxPax. And we'll see if we invest into Oracles or a Void Ray. We shall see. As our Stargate is now done, Adept does slip into the main. Going to be taking advantage of the high ground, and will raid down upon the third base. This is a brutal position. One drone goes down. One worker already denied mining time. A very nice start here. Very cheeky start from MaxPax. Meanwhile, behind this, we do have the Oracle in production. Oracle is on the way. As Adepts nicely done, they do pick off a creep tumor. Tumor goes down. Adepts will shade back. At the same time, Lambo did invest into an extra wave of Lings, so he's going to try to hunt down said Adepts. Does run into them, does not get the surround. MaxPax will threaten another dive. Second Oracle's in production behind this. Third base has been thrown down as well. Is expanding, is taking a third. And based on this position, yeah, the Oracle can support the Adepts. Lings are going down, and we're making our way to the mineral line. And we can one-shot drones. Another drone falls. That's 2 drones so far for those Adepts. And And we're not done. We have the second Oracle moving out. We have a third Oracle on the way. This is a bit of a breath of fresh air. We've seen a lot of or I should say, we've seen a lot of double Oracle openers out of Christiana and a lot of the Polish Protoss players. I appreciate a third Oracle. It's been a while. It's been a while, man. I miss it. It is third Oracle's on the way. So just a very standard start from MaxPax. We have our follow-up. It's going to be a Twilight Council into a Forge, into +1 and Blink. Everything is looking as it should from MaxPax. I know earlier I was talking about how MaxPax has been mixing it up and has been a little bit more unpredictable as a result. But here, standard play. Nothing crazy. 2 more drones at the natural. I believe that's 4 in total. Oh my god, sorry, 7 in total. My apologies. So we must have lost more workers earlier. 7 drones going to be going down. Double Oracle threatening. Oh, a dive into the natural. Don't quite commit. Oh my god. Do take some extra damage, but we do manage to get away. Getting almost 1 more drone. Nice reaction from Lambo. Meanwhile, there's the upgrades that we mentioned, +1 and Blink. Additional gateways on the way. We'll keep an eye on the gateway count. We'll also keep an eye on the gas count of MaxPax. It is very common to go for 3 base all-ins from the Protoss side of things on this map. It's very common. But that does require a certain setup. And for the time being, we have a Robo on the way. That should be for a Prism, maybe even for splash damage. Additional gateways. I think we're getting up to 6 gates on 3 bases. Just a 6-gate setup. Into Blink Stalker aggression. Likewise, MaxPax going for the stasis trap at the natural, not quite catching too much. Yeah, no connection. Meanwhile, Oracles into the third, we get 1 more drone. It all does slowly add up. What F's are gonna get surrounded? Yeah, nice surround there from Lambo. Oracle's unable to support. 2 Adepts shade in, and that is going to be enough to deny mining time. Again, 2 Adepts one-shot workers, so that's all you need to threaten a base. 2 drones going down. Getting a 3rd drone. Can we get a 4th? Oh, we can. We shouldn't get a 5th. Stasis trap into the natural. Do pull away in time. As you can see at the 3rd base of MaxPax on the minimap, gases have been taken, so that means we're looking to take up even further. We should be seeing either a Templar Archives or a Bay, maybe a 2nd Robo. Speaking of, it was one of the 3. Bay is on the way. So this should be for Colossus production, and this can lead into a 2nd Robo for double Colossus production as well. So really macro-oriented here out of MaxPax. Blink has kicked in, but we haven't really been too active with those Blink Stalkers. Just building them up back at home. 4th base under fire. We do get surrounded. And the 4th is going to be denied. Nice pick off there from MaxPax. Oh, sorry, from Lambo. It's MaxPax forced to delay his 4th base a little bit longer. Hydrogen is done. Infestation bits on the way. This should be to work towards Lurker Tech. So this is going to be for a Hive, for a Lurker Den, and Lurker upgrades. Until then, Lambo is only harassing with Lings. I believe we should be preserving the Hydras until we can morph them into Lurkers later on down the line. So we're just easing our way into this. We're slowing things down. Both players are macroing up into the mid-game. Are going to be macroing. We did catch some Lings. Body blocking wasn't quite there. But a nice split of these Oracles. MaxPax is in position. We spoke about Lurkers, and there it is. The Lurker Den is on the way. So is the Hive. Again, just working on those upgrades and getting into a Lurker timing. We are working towards that Lurker timing. Lings, they do catch a good chunk of Stalkers. Not bad. Going to be going down. Colossus almost overextends. We get surround. Oh my god! A nice surround of these Stalkers. So many of them fall. Trading minerals for gas. Very nice catch here by Lambo. MaxPax did overextend. Now he's going to be stuck back at home. Temple Archives, that should be for Archons and Storm. There's that second Robo now on the way. Now that the fourth base is up and running, we can afford a double Colossus production. But I'll be honest, I kind of like Lambo's position more. I appreciate that we should be hitting our Lurker timing before we really have too many Robo units. We'll see. As you can see, Lurkers are already on the way. Lurkers are being prioritized. Hive upgrades as well. As MaxPax pushing forward, clearing up some creep. Lurkers are in position. Are lying in wait, buying time. Storm just now starting up here for MaxPax. But can we hit before Storm? See, as the Lambo is still just building up more Ling main Lurker. Has the Baneling runway set up towards the south. Lurkers are keeping up. There we go. 3 more Lurkers on the way. And Baneling speed, yeah, but we do catch out these Archons. Very nice catch. We force the recall. Oh, and we get both. Yeah, the recall doesn't save a single Archon. At the same time, MaxPax moving out, rotating around, denying as much creep as possible, keeping Lambo pinned. Ooh, even supply blocking Lambo. No Overlords. No Overlords in production. Fleet Beacons on the way. MaxPax working towards Sky Toss. We're almost there. At the same time, a big Link counterattack. We hit the third and the fourth. Waiting for the Banelings. The Banelings are rolling in. And up! Delayed reaction. Yeah, delayed reaction out of MaxPax. 7 probes go down. Not a bad Storm. That was 11 probe kills. And the Lurkers are still holding on back at home. They're still keeping up. Now we're getting to double Immortal production. As the Immortal count gets higher, the effectiveness of these Lurkers is getting lower. That is a little bit concerning. As Immortal production is getting underway. Lambo has yet to max out. MaxPax has. +1 air attack. Getting ready for that Skytoss transition. Not quite there yet, but it's happening. That's Revelation on the Lurkers. MaxPax rotating around. Oh. They'll snipe one. Let's catch a Lurker. Second Stargate now being thrown down. Third Stargate as well, so yeah, we are very much so working towards Carriers or Tempest. One or the other. The Immortals and High Templar moving out to reinforce the main army. As MaxPax moves out, you can see the Ling Bane moving in towards the fourth once again. And not much to defend. Also not much to kill. We're going to get the Immortal. We bust into the mineral line. Once again, probes are going down. And we're going for the Nexus. And MaxPax turns around. For a moment, he turns around. So Rabbi will deny a hatchery. Ooh, that's a kill, not a cancel. Nidus Worm into the natural. And Lambo has been able to avoid a main fight. And if he can keep doing this, he can take the game. If we got some Lurkers, we can bust into the main base. As I say that, we have Stalkers. Okay, Stalkers, they race back home in time. Colossus, they shut down the Lings. Lambo finally maxed out. Lambo, he's maxed out on Ling, Bane, Hydra, Lurker. Now, what I'm concerned about is I believe there are no Vipers. I may have missed them, but I don't think that Lambo made any Vipers. Without Vipers, we actually can't really collapse on a Colossus-based army. Like, abductions are so important. It's so crucial to abduct those Colossus and abduct the Immortals. Without them, we see Lambo working towards a Spire, and it looks like Lambo is playing more defensively instead. And now I'm concerned for Lambo, because if Lambo isn't going for a timing, if he isn't breaking out, then he's going to fall behind. Like, Carriers are already on the way. Like, the Spire is still just now starting. Like, MaxPax's army is just leveling up, or it's just being refined. We'll see. We have a couple of Nidus Worms. Lambo making his way to the natural with an Overseer. Lurkers are being active. Overseer gets shut down. Lurkers headed for the 4th. Army's in position. Likewise, we see Lambo slowly getting ground. Applying pressure to the 4th. Forcing MaxPax to split up his army. But so far, so good. Carriers are revealed. Rook's going to be knocked down. Trying to make our way towards the natural. A couple lurkers get picked off, though. It's 3 lurkers falling. Can't quite push up the ramp. No detection! Oh my god, we catch 2 Immortals! Very nice pickoffs. 2 Immortals go down. There's no pushing into this natural. It's not going to happen. Lambo doesn't break through. The carrier count slowly getting higher. At the same time, Lambo investing into Corruptor. And there it is. Now we have our first Viper on the way. Viper is finally coming out. But again, like, MaxPax is looking quite comfortable. He's been able to maintain his 4 base counts. The 5th is going to be a little bit more difficult to maintain. I mean, for both players, just because of the map. Speaking of, this hatchery's under fire, and it's going to be going down. We shut down the Nidus Worm as well. That's a kill on the 5th. They're forced to retreat. And likewise, MaxPax also going for a split push. That is a lot of lunkers. The Corruptor count is getting higher. Lambo is in position. Another Revelation. MaxPax pulling back. Corruptors are building up. Oh, we go for the Yoink! Yeah, we catch the Mothership. Mothership goes down. Nice storming on the Hydras. With all those Corruptors, we should pull back. We are lacking anti-air with that Northern Army. Very few Archons or Stalkers to help keep these Colossus alive. Oh, sorry, the carriers alive. But there we go. We do consolidate our army. Everything comes together. And we're pushing in. MaxPax has the high ground. Shuts down all of these Lurkers. We'll say Strap as well. Lurkers trying to engage, but we deal with half the Lurker army. And now the other half. There's a massive chunk of Lurkers going down. See, we're trying to make 5 more Lurkers to replace. Stasis Trap goes off. Corruptors, they cannot dive in. Massive storms. Zone the Corruptors away. They're going to try to commit, but another big storm of the Corruptors. We're slowly breaking through, but we're down to 3, down to 2. And that's all the anti-air. 0 Hydras, 0 Corruptors. The Sky Toss reigns supreme. We have plenty of detection. And we're just bleeding out Lurkers for free. Like, where's the anti-air? Where's the anti-Sky Toss? There's nothing left. Carriers pushing forward. Okay, we have Corruptors in production. But this carrier count, it may just be too much. May have just hit critical mass here. So we focus down workers, we chase down the drones, going for the 5th base. Okay, would you recall? Never mind. Gonna be recalling back home. Though I feel like there was potential to get more damage done. MaxPax pulls back. More carriers. MaxPax does have the supply lead. As again, he did take a very favorable fight. And he's on like 9 carriers. My god. Soon to be 11. Well, the ship has arrived as well. We have the Archons to support. That's all we need, like Archons and High Templar for Storm. To make sure the Corruptors cannot engage. And Sal's heading into the natural. And with 1-1 Corruptors, like I have a hard time having faith in them to be able to bring down these carriers. I mean, there's a world where if we can maybe deal with all the Archons first, Ling Rumbai does get in. So we get on top of those lurkers. Yeah, Ling Rumbai into the main, but we do warp in some Zealots. Zealots should clean this up. By storm on those lurkers. Oof. We have 2 storms left. I think we have another storm in the chamber. We do yoink in the mothership once again. The corruptors are low. There we go. One final storm onto those corruptors. GG gets called. There's nothing left for Lambo, and MaxPax will take game number 1. GG. Again, it did come down to that one big push with MaxPax moving through the center of the map, was able to take a beautiful fight where he shot down all the Corruptors. There were no Hydras to support, there were limited Vipers, just limited anti-air in general. It did look like Lambo had too much supply in Lurker. There were just too many Lurkers and just not enough anti-air, or just not enough Corruptors in the air to really deal with the carrier counts. And with that, once all the Corruptors went down, I mean, that was MaxPax snowballing out of control, taking the game. And in the top right-hand corner, we have Lambo for Shopify. And in the bottom left, we have MaxPax for Psystorm Na'Vi. Here we go. But again, initially it looked like maybe Lambo would be able to hit a timing with his lurkers earlier on before the Skytoss came into play, but we saw that Lambo just was playing more defensively instead, and because of that, he fell behind in a way. He fell behind because he went for a later Spire after Skytoss was already underway, and he was behind in upgrades. Was lacking the ideal army that he was hoping for. Few spellcasters, few corruptors, mainly reliant on those lurkers. And with that, MaxPax just had his way in that main fight. Meanwhile, hello, Lambo, rushing into the gold. Okay, you have my attention. You have my attention, but we're rushing into the gold base. We are looking to spice things up here in game number 2. We go. Likewise, MaxPax going for the gate expand. Now, we have seen this situation plenty of times on Alcyone, where the Zerg player can rush into the gold, and then it's on MaxPax to try to punish that gold base. So this is not a new dynamic that we've seen in this map pool. And we'll see how MaxPax responds. There's a couple different ways. You could go into a Twilight counter response and go for Glaive of Depths. You can go for a Stargate opener into Oracle, into a third, into a faster Twilight counter for Blink Stalkers instead. Personally, I really do enjoy the fast Blink response because it is such a good setup to defend against an all-in. Like, if Lambo is setting up for a Roach all-in, then getting into those Blink Stalkers can be ideal. It can be risky going for Glaive of Depths first, just because Lambo may be rushing into a Roach Warren anyway. And if that's true, then he's going to be having like a more ideal army against those Adepts. So it can be risky. We can see here, Stargate opener. It's going to be a Stargate opener from MaxPax into, I imagine, Oracles. And we'll see how Lambo makes use of this gold base. It doesn't have to be an all-in. I'm leaning towards it, and it gives you just a lot of money early on to go into a fast Roach Warren and to go into like a Ling Ravager all-in or something. But I actually like the idea of maybe Lambo forcing an overreaction, making it look like an all-in, and just taking a third, droning up, getting up to 4 base saturation, and just like macroing or something. Of course, having the Roach Warren, but just to defend against the aggression of your opponent. We'll see. See how we make use of this. I think we were casting Solar recently who did that, who rushed into the gold and just macroed. Like, didn't go for an all-in. The Protoss opponent over-prepared and just overreacted to the perceived all-in. And Solar was able to just get ahead. I think he ended up working towards just Lurker tech. But there is an early Roach Warren. A very early Roach Warren here from Lambo. That's the sub 4 minute mark, so this should be a Roach Rush. be rushing into roaches. Third base being taken for MaxPax. Oracles will defend, will protect the third. And we'll see if MaxPax can get into those Blink Stalkers. Get into that Twilight Council tech. As for now, Roach Warren's almost done. Links are amassing. You can see Lambo is cutting workers. Lambo, he's cutting workers here at 35. We'll see if he makes any more. Nope. we have our answer. The answer is no more drones. We're amassing roaches, queens, and lings. And MaxPax is responding with a Twilight Council, but this is a little bit later. Oh boy, this is going to be a tight defense for MaxPax. We'll see if we can pull it off. As Lambo is sending everything across the map. Adepts are able to keep up. Oracle's now confirmed. They spot the queens. Oh, we're going to try and protect the third. This third base is so isolated, though. That's the problem with post-youth. Your third base is just so out in the open. Shield batteries are on the way. I'm going to be impressed here if MaxPax can hold. If we can somehow hold this low ground, it's going to be crazy. Meanwhile, Lambo, he ignores it for now. There we go, rotates around. Queens have arrived. So far, only the one shield battery. Second shield battery finishing up. Oracle's down with the queen. Yeah, we're going into mass Oracle. First queen goes down. We're going for the pylon. There's the backup pylon in the back line. Overcharge is popped. Ooh, and we're running out of Ravagers. The Ravagers, they're targeted down one after the other. Oh my god. We're holding. We target down the Ravagers. I was not really expecting to invest into a 4th and 5th Oracle. And this mass Oracle is doing so well for MaxPax. We focus on the Queens, we focus on the Ravagers. GG gets called. MaxPax completely shuts it down with a standard opener. That's what's impressive. That's what's impressive to me. It was just Stargate into triple Oracle into a third base. Once you realize what's going on, we just make a 4th Oracle, make a 5th Oracle, throw down additional shield batteries further back as well. We stagger them, we spread them out, and MaxPax made that look easy. Ironically, that was crazy. GG. GG, well played. MaxPax shuts down the all-in, and we force the ace match. We're going all the way to game 7. Whew. Let's go. Let us go. It comes down to this one final game. Now, I don't know if you noticed, in that last series, there was no cams. I mean, there was a cam on MaxPax, but there was no cam on Lambo. And what that means is that either one or the other, or both players were not available. What that means is, because there were no cams, that was played via replays. There is a chance as we get ready for this ace match that MaxPax isn't here. I don't know if it's MaxPax or Lambo, but one of these players, the reason why it was played via replays is because they aren't available to play live tonight. And if that's the case, Spirit may be the ace player. He may be coming out instead. So we'll see. We shall see if it's going to be Spirit or MaxPax as the ace player. Meanwhile, for Shopify Rebellion, we have options. I feel like ByuN is the obvious choice. Like, I feel like ByuN is, I would say, the highest rated player on Shopify. But you could always try to snipe, right? Like, if there's a player that has a specialized build for Spirit or MaxPax on Oceanborn, they could anticipate the player and then try to snipe. That is also viable. It is also viable. And we shall see. If you're in the chats, who do you think? Who do you think is coming out? Is it, ByuN versus MaxPax? Is it not? Right, like, we aren't privy as to whether MaxPax is here or not. I did mention before that last series was via replays. It is possible that MaxPax isn't here. We'll see. We shall see. We shall see. As for now, we're getting ready for that ace match. Again, it's going to be on Oceanborn as the final map of the night. I wouldn't say that. I see someone saying Lambo presents himself as the smartest. I don't think he's the smartest player. I wouldn't say that. I think Lambo presents himself as very like logical. And there's a couple of players like that between the races. But I don't think Lambo doesn't come off as someone that's like full of himself or anything like that. Like not at all. Not at all. He always praises Cyril. Yeah. For sure. But now we're settling in. Who is it gonna be? Again, are we gonna throw in a curveball? Curveball. Is it not gonna be ByuN from Shopify? Is this where the captain comes out? Let's not forget, everyone. Let's not forget, Harstem is also on Shopify. You know, if Harstem is feeling good, if he's on fire, if he's on point, he could come out instead. Just saying. Just saying. He is the captain now. Dark's games are always so entertaining. They are. Like, Dark is an animal, and he embraces it. Dark is an animal, and he there's no shame there, you know? No shame whatsoever. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. He's a very aggressive, very chaotic player. I think Dark, it's like, I feel like a lot of people that enjoy Dark probably enjoy Hero as well, as, yep, there it is. It is going to be ByuN versus Spirit in the TBT. For those that were listening, I was talking about how the previous series was played via replay, so it's likely that either or both players weren't available. To me, I'm assuming that Spirit is coming out because MaxPax is not available here tonight. That's my assumption. Like putting 2 and 2 together. So it's going to be the TBT between ByuN and Spirit. Let's go. As we activate our cams and get things going. Here we go. Which is a shame. It would have been amazing to have seen a little bit more MaxPax here tonight. Would have been amazing to have seen some more. So ready for our Terran versus Terran. ByuN big favorite here. I don't know if I would say big. I would say ByuN is he favored? It's a best of one. I wish this was more. Like, Spirit has some insane TBT. Like, there's probably an argument to be made that Spirit has like some of the best TBT in Europe. Like, even better than Clem. I mean, Clem's worst matchup is TBT, to be fair. But we've seen Spirit take down Clem and Hero from time to time. Like, Spirit definitely has some world-class TBT. At the same time, ByuN has a very unique style of TBT. That's something that I would say, that I would stand behind. Is that ByuN is a very active player in TBT. If you've seen his TBT matchups, very often he stays on a lower tank count, lower Viking count, very marine heavy, very bio heavy. He's all about drop play, all about catching you out of position. I really enjoy it. I think ByuN's TBT is a lot of fun. But at the same time, if his opponent is able to keep up and able to gain map vision or map awareness as to be able to keep up with the drop play and movement of ByuN, then ByuN can otherwise struggle. So there's a bit of a give and take going on there. So I'm ready. I'm excited. I'm ready for the aggression of ByuN. I'm ready to see if Spirit can keep up with the speed of ByuN and take that defensive role, or even just turn the tables on ByuN. It's possible. Possible. We could also turn the tables and be the aggressor instead. Watch us load in, and then ByuN goes like proxy 2 racks. I can totally see that happening. We load into the game, and it's like, let's go. The SCVs are being sent across the map. It's gonna be like a 5-minute game. And that's the other scary thing about ByuN. I say ByuN. A lot of the Korean Terrans, ByuN, Kyor, Maru, they are so willing to just cheese and proxy you, like at any moment. Bunny does it as well. So yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. TLO is always fun to watch anytime. True. So players are setting up. It looks like they're chatting to each other. I don't know if you noticed, but both ByuN and Spirit were smiling. They were smiling, Pappy. Chatting away. ELO wise, clearly ByuN is favored, as he has had a better record, Spirit's ELO is affected by the fact that, if you remember, Spirit only got to play in half of last season, because when Spirit got picked up by Na'Vi, he couldn't represent Psystorm anymore, in WTL. This season is different, as, Psystorm is partnered with Na'Vi. But, last season, Spirit just didn't get to play as much, didn't get to, really show off as much as he would have liked. 90% win rate in series. Let's go. Oh, actually, we have the technology. We can just look it up. True. Oh, never mind. We're loading in. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have ByuN for Shopify. And in the top left, we have Spirit for Psystorm Na'Vi. Let us go. A shout out to the sponsors of WTL, of course. Shout out to ByuN, Autoful, Doyu, and SC. Boy, got these amazing sponsors. This event would not be here, not just WTL, but also Kung Fu Cup, Masters Coliseum, Stars War 11. Again, big shout out to all the sponsors, making sure that the Chinese StarCraft scene is alive, and as a result, StarCraft better off for it as well. SC, boy, they do so much for StarCraft. So much. Alright, checking history. Interesting. So, ByuN and Spirit have played, and we're going for the proxy racks, by the way. Because of course we are. Fun fact, when it comes to history of these two players, they have faced 3 times this year. It's been 6 months. 3 times in the year of 2024, and they've never faced off in a full series. It's been best of ones. They faced off in OC King of the Hill, 160, 162, and 166. So only 3 times. It has all gone in favor of ByuN, but it's only been best of ones. And fun fact, this is another best of one. I'm shaking my head. Only best of ones this year. Do love to see it. And with this, ByuN is going for proxy racks. Now, it is only a singular proxy racks. 1 at home, 1 across the map. It's going to be 2 racks Reaper, but not the most committed build. And, I was going to say, I like this build against Spirit, because Spirit is known for his greed, and Spirit is going for a racks expand. So this is an economic start by Spirit, an aggressive start by ByuN, which means ByuN has the opportunity to get damage done, and even snowball out of control. So this is going to be a very tense moment. Very tense moment here. Spirit has to be very careful with this first Reaper. He cannot lose it. If he loses the Reaper, then the dominoes, they start to fall. Like, everything escalates very, very quickly. And ByuN can bust through into a mineral line, just eviscerates workers and SCVs and Marines, and it can be dire. And the Reapers, they do reveal themselves. First SCV goes down, second SCV as well. We do delay the expansion. Boys are being pulled. Boys are pulled. We get a 3rd worker. Spirit will hold, but this is costing him. It's going to be 3 workers going down. It's going to be a delayed command center as well. So far, a good start for ByuN. He gambled a little bit, but gambled well. As a result, we maintain map control. We maintain control of the low ground. Cyclone is on the way. We've built up towards 4 Reapers. We're going in once again. We have the high ground. Nice target firing. Oh, Reaper does fall. But we hold our own. So 2-for-1 trade. Spirit does hold onto the high ground. Bleeds out another Marine. Uh-oh. Another Marine, another SCV. ByuN finally does back off. Rallying another Reaper across the map. Spirit scanning the main. Does get eyes on saturation on the factory. CC's on location for ByuN. Still on the way. Command center is still on the way for ByuN. Likewise, still on the way for Spirit. Cyclone has arrived. With the help of this Cyclone, we should defend. We should be okay. Do we overextend, though? ByuN, oh, not quite able to get the Cyclone. Not quite. Yeah, solid lock on. Spirit holds. Whew. Spirit does hold, and now we need to take a moment to take stock of the game. Okay, looking at the game state here, Spirit is down in SCVs, but I believe has a slightly faster CC. You can see on the production tab there, his orbital has a little bit more progression compared to the orbital of ByuN, so it is slightly faster. But regardless, I would give the edge to ByuN because of his worker lead. Starport's already done. Joe play is underway. It's quite close between our 2 players. So despite the slight advantages, could still go either way. Spirit going for his drop towards the south. He's going for his drop here. Likewise, so is ByuN. Spirit will hit first, which does give him an edge. He will slip into that mineral line. ByuN halfway across the map. Doesn't have much at home to defend. How many workers can we get? How much damage here? As a tank is still on the way, Liberator still on the way. SCVs will go down. Gets one, he gets two. Three, and oh, barely a fourth SCV. Very nice damage so far by Spirit. At the same time, we do go for a counter drop across the map. Spirit getting 4 SCVs and ByuN getting 2. Dropping into the main, catching Vanilla Marines. And Marines have a hard time keeping up. The Raven has arrived. And we defend. Whew. Okay, so with that, Spirit, he makes up for his earlier losses. Does make up for them, and he's not done. Getting one more. Oof. Okay, getting one more worker. Almost 2. Every little bit counts. Oh man, speaking of every little bit, oh, Cyclone does overextend. Big tank volleys. We save the depot. Boy being pulled to repair at the same time. Liberator does siege up in the natural. Play reaction. Those 4 workers falling, a lot less mine time as well. And just a very chaotic early game here, and now it's ByuN's turn to get damage done. 6 SCVs. Oof. And a Cyclone as well. Yeah, we saw Spirit just a little bit too close. 8 workers and a Cyclone. Again, still very tense, still very back and forth. Getting another worker. And both players are expanding. Both players are throwing down third CCs. Both players are looking to get into a longer game. To recover and settle into the mid game. And again, when it comes to the TVT matchup, it's still very positional based. Spirit has his 2 Ravens. ByuN getting into Viking production. No Ravens available for ByuN, so Spirit has potential here to disable those tanks to take a better fight. As I say that, Cyclone coming in once again, getting 2 more SCVs. Oh, getting 3. Almost 4. ByuN being so annoying here in the main. You can see here 18 worker kills. Oh my god. That is crazy. 18 workers go down. Spirit now taking his 3rd. ByuN's 3rd is on location. So he did have map control. Vikings are forced to drop into the main. Finally, we do clean up that Reaper. I believe the drop as well. And Spirit does have to push. We'll see what he can get done here. As he moves out, we still have that double drop poised to go into the natural. So ByuN is ready to punish this move out. Spirit is spotted. ByuN does spot Spirit ahead of time. Does pull the trigger, go straight for the natural. Yeah, the tanks, they do siege, forcing Spirit all the way back home. Does have a drop going into the main as well, though. Thankfully. Medivacs are cleaned up. Auto tanks are thrown down. We will clean up these tanks. We got 5 worker kills. 4 Spirit. Uh oh. Spirit, he's not ready for those Marines. He's not in position. We step in. We're going for the 3rd. Okay. We do react in time. We save the mineral line. We save our Ravens. We're okay. We're okay, pal. I say that ByuN, he wants to go back in. He's going back in. Okay, there's a tank. There's a tank sieged up. We deny the depot. Spirit moving out. Now, he did spend a lot of energy already dealing with the drop, so the Ravens, yeah, they're not as sopped up as they otherwise once were. As we do stagger forward, Big tank volleys going off, taking down the center tower, taking down the depot. Not bad. Not a bad start here for Spirits, but the problem is his buyer, the lack of buyer. ByuN bringing together his army. That's a lot of Marines. ByuN get ready to collapse on this position. And we're going to have to land the Vikings. Land the Vikings! The boys are being pulled! The Vikings do land. All the targets are being thrown down as well. Can we barely hold on? Looks like we cannot. The Bio army sims on forward. We clean up everything. Spirit losing his entire army. Built up so many tanks, but now has lost it all. At the same time, we did get 39 SCVs. I mean, that was a lot of economic damage done. But now ByuN is going for a big counterattack. Can Spirit survive? And Spirit is down heavily in supply. And here comes the push. Drop into the natural. Scanning against Spirit, we just have to hold on. Boys are being pulled. We're trying to get on top of the tanks, and we do get two of them. There's still one tank left. Barely. The tank is holding on. As I say that, big tank volley is going to be going off here. 14 SCVs go down. At the same time, we rally towards the third base, and Spirit just doesn't have enough. He has workers, but nothing else. GG gets called, and ByuN will take the game. We'll take the ace match and the series 4-3. GG, well played. Shopify Rebellion will come out on top, but that was a close series. It went all the way to the ace match here. Congratulations to Shopify. My condolences to Sidestorm Gaming, but this was a good series nonetheless. Again, we rarely get ace matches here in WTL. Goes to show how close these teams are. And there's a world out there where if MaxPax was available, then, I mean, maybe it even goes the direction in favor of Sidestorm Na'Vi. It's possible. It is possible. Regardless, GG, well played. A solid performance here from Sidestorm Gaming and Na'Vi, but congratulations to Shopify. Very well done. And that wraps up our Night of StarCraft. Again, Weibo Gaming took down Starlight Twinkle, and Shopify took down Sidestorm Na'Vi. GG, well played. Whew. With that, we're wrapping up. We get to stop casting early today. It's 2 a.m. It's 2 a.m. in the morning. Last night, we went for a marathon cast of SDO into WTL into the SC2 Safe House. And as a reminder, the SC2 Safe House is also happening tonight as well. As a reminder, tonight is the playoffs of basically the NA version of Home Story Cup. The NA version of Home Story Cup, where we have Zombie Grub, Nathanius, Fear Dragon, Steadfast, Chicken Man, and Zergirl, and some other guests as well popping in. All enjoying themselves in Vegas, all hosting a big tournament featuring the Americas players. I'm going to be featuring them. We did cast we were one of the side streams. We were the C stream last night. So we were helping out with the round robin stage. But now it's going to be all about the main stream. So we're not quite needed for today. So we're going to be taking a back seat. I get to go to bed at a reasonable time. Oh, let's go. Again, my sleep schedule is ruined. Right now it's very EU. My sleep schedule is very European. Yeah, gonna have to readjust over the next couple of days. Unless there's something else going on. What else is going on this week? Let's check our calendar. If you want some more StarCraft action, then tomorrow, we're going to be live tomorrow in less than 24 hours with ESL Urban Cup Asia. ESL Urban Cup Asia tomorrow. The day after is going to be ESL Urban Cup Americas. The day after that, we do have WTL, a catch-up stream. We have Code for Giants Cup. That is a Brazilian tournament that we're going to be covering as well here on the channel. And this weekend is something special. Sorry, this weekend currently is the NA Home Story Cup. And the European Home Story Cup, or just Home Story Cup, is next weekend. The 21st to the 23rd of June is Home Story Cup 25. Let's go. Let's go. So mark your calendar, set your alarms, adjust your sleep schedules. Another full weekend of StarCraft. And after that, we have the Esports World Cup. Oh my god. The qualifiers are 2 weeks after that, so a lot of StarCraft. Let's go. We won't be a part of Home Story Cup, unfortunately. There might be a B stream, but I think Steadfast usually gets the B stream for Home Story Cup, so unfortunately we won't be involved in that. But we will be casting nonetheless. Over the weekend we have KSL, the Korean StarCraft League. We have Sparkling Tuna Cup. We have Sparkling Tuna Cup next Sunday. We also have some catch-up streams. Again, we have a couple of free days to catch up on World Team League, to catch up on events like DreamHack Dallas. We have all the replays of DreamHack Dallas. We did cast DreamHack Dallas live, if you remember. We were also one of the side streams for DreamHack. But there were a lot of matches that weren't casted. There were a lot of matches in the open stage that weren't casted, so I do want to go over the open stage. Even though these games are now like 2 weeks old or 3 weeks old, I do want to cover them just because no one did, to make sure that, you know, I'm pretty sure there's some really good matches that did occur in the open stage that were not broadcasted, so I want to be there for it. So we're going to be doing some replay casting over the upcoming weekend. Otherwise, thanks so much. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. We do appreciate the support. If you enjoy the content, !socials in the chat. You guys can get a link to our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord server, and Patreon as well. You can support us on Patreon if you wish. Over on Patreon, that's where you can help us grow and fund our own tournaments like Sparkling Tuna Cup. We would love to see it become more of an event that can pay out, you know, top 4 players, turn into like some monthly finals as well. You know, we have plans for Sparkling Tuna Cup if we get the support for it. That is a big if, and we do appreciate all the support that we have gotten. We even got a new patron today, so thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the support. Otherwise, I'm gonna get some rest. I'm gonna calm down. Know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna boil some water, and I'm gonna make some instant noodles. I'm gonna make some ramen. Let's go. Make some ramen, Poppy. Some Shin ramen with an egg and cheese. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it. We'll see you guys tomorrow for ESL Open Cup Asia. Again, we cast on a daily basis here on the CranKy Ducklings, sometimes multiple times a day, like today. Today we casted Tuna Cup into WTL. Sometimes 2, sometimes 3, like yesterday. Yesterday was 3 events. So plenty of StarCraft, plenty of content. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. Till then, we'll see you guys next time. Hasta luego. See you tomorrow. Ciao, papi, ciao. See you tomorrow.